Alright, we're gonna get started a little bit early today. Some people will notice some small changes. Don't worry, I'll explain everything once we get into the flow of things. Basically, I did a little bit of prep work prior to getting in. We're seeing this system over here, which we'll see more of this because I'm going to be upgrading this system and building it even more later. We see this system over here. This is just making me my engines. We need a lot of these for the upcoming base, so we have a system to build to make them. And then down here is just a small system to deal with the scrap. I did gotten pretty far in scrap with the scrappy industry in my test run, basically all the way to chemical science and using chemicals. We're going to be getting down that route eventually, and I have a way of handling it now, so we'll be fixing that. Our first couple of goals, though, are going to be quite simple. I want to set up a power system, which will probably go right here, and then I want to get our individual resources figured out, so we're not doing this whole song and dance and having way too many resources piled up inside of here. We're going to need a bunch of stone. That was a reminder alarm. Don't worry about it. It's actually the alarm's telling me to get ready for stream, so not a big deal. But one of the things I'm going to be doing today is we are going to be building a new power system. I also did logistics research off camera, basically logistics too. This is just because I wanted the red bells and build technology because we're going to be building a system to build those first before we actually get started. So let's go ahead and grab. I think in the blueprints we have. Yes, we have our steam power stack. Go ahead and place that down. Red belts. That's fine. But we're going to be using this system to make a lot of that. Iron is one of our problems right now because the iron is the one backing up all the time. Like I said, we're going to be working on getting a way around that, but that's fine since we use so much iron in the early game. It's fine. I actually can say that I really enjoy scrappy industry. The more and more I mess with it, the more and more I like it. Really cool idea. It makes for definitely an interesting idea to deal with, having to deal with basically the amount of scrap that it adds. It's not an overly abundant amount of scrap. Like we're not going to be sitting here drowning in it all the time. And as far as I can tell, my initial theory about scrap is it was incorrect. I originally thought that scrap was something that you could eventually make it worth, but it seems like it's just a byproduct. You seem like you have a chance at getting the amount of stuff you put into it back, but you don't actually have a chance at gaining stuff, and it's only a chance to gain what you put into it back. So it's not like you're going to get it every time. Is steam engines literally scrap? Yeah, it's literally the same as engines, except no steel. And it's replaced the steel with iron. Interesting to think that it's about the same thing that goes into both of them. Once we get this power system set up, we can then start working towards other things. I could also definitely say I've run into a lot of times where scrappy industry can be a pain. There's a lot of times where it feels like scrappy industry wants to give me nothing but scrap for a while. big of an issue. But like I said, I've already kind of thought of a way of handling scrap. We'll be setting that up later. It'll be part of our initial build for our base. There's also quite a few things that don't take up have scrap possibilities. Like pipes don't have a possibility. Like normal pipes don't have a possibility of scrap, but undergrounds do. So it seems like like it's only when it starts adding in complex processes. So it makes it actually quite simple to work with it under certain circumstances. So like I've said, I've so far thoroughly enjoyed having scrappy industry added in. I can definitely say why I would understand that there are people that don't like it. It's definitely something to get your head wrapped around, and it'll take a minute for you to begin to accept it. Not to mention, it's kind of annoying to have a percentage chance of getting what you want back. But I kind of get why they did that. And now I can turn that on. But we're not going to be connecting to it until for a little bit. Alright, so the next thing to do would be to bring this over here like this, bring this up like this, and this over here like this. And then we can go ahead and put this there. And then that will allow us to do this. Nice and simple for now, as I'm just trying to get a small system built for the purposes of making, basically I want to make all of the belt types. I want to get all of the red type belts started to be making, which I have ways of dealing, like I said, I have ways of dealing with the scrap later. We're not going to be using a lot of those processes right this moment, because I'm not at the point yet where it's beneficial. No, I wouldn't say I'm not at the point where it's beneficial. I'm not at the point where it's going to be necessary. The amount of scrap we produce once the base gets really running is immense, but it's not a lot at the start. Okay, and then move this over to here. Our initial setup going. Let's go ahead and grab 10 of these. Hopefully we get all 10. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. definitely say that there's a lot to say be considered about, like, what all I want. I can also say through extensive testing that handcrafting does produce all the scrap it could. You know, avoid it. So it's one good reason to avoid handcrafting. This mod definitely shows that handcrafting is not the way to go in Factorio. And I like that. I actually really like that. I think it's a really good idea. Now, this system also won't work very well for iron buildup, especially since copper is such an issue up here. Now, of course, we can fix that by doing this, which will help, but it's not going to get the system running as fast as we want. I am okay with that for the early game. For right now, I will deal with that problem later. As of right now, it's not an issue, or it's not a big enough issue for me to want to deal with, at least. Now, a good way of helping understand how I plan on taking care of things in the future is going to be just to start showing that. I will start trying to build with only red products, because I'm just going to be upgrading all the yellow to red anyways. Now we go like this, which this one would be here, so we go this. Actually, we go like this. And then this, and then input priority left, because that's where the gears from scrapping are going to come in. And that's basically how all these are going to start. I technically should also have one for iron, but we can always do that up here. The next thing to do is to go ahead and set up a couple of these. I'm just going to give this a ton of scrap again, which is fine. The only one that I'd say is a little annoying to deal with is electrical scrap, because you have to put wire into it, and it's the only one that requires something going into it to fix it, or at least to get something back from it. Okay, let's go grab the... Huh, I don't have it in here. See, that's my issue, is I always lose my blueprints, which is annoying. It's actually funny that my mind will go off and think of something while I'm doing all this. Like, I was just thinking of an anime I've been watching a lot lately. And there's a character in it who has this, like, she basically is the assistant to the Demon Lord. And the Demon Lord is having this whole thing where he's, like, in love with a human. And she and the assistant is getting absolutely furious at it. And the human is basically like, she's doing the whole you're a Demon Lord, I can't accept that. But she actually is basically showing feelings for him early on. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I wonder if it's a possibility that the assistant to the Demon Lord actually likes the Demon Lord and is mad that he isn't falling for her and is falling for a human instead. definitely seems like that's the situation going on. I hadn't considered that until just now. I will admit that there's a lot that I should probably build on top of building all of this. We definitely want to get our research. We actually should probably also get our research going again. So we're going to go with more inserters. We're going to go with fluid handling, trains, cars, circuit networks, lab restrictions. Ore crushing is definitely something we're going to need. Because the iteration of the base we build after this is definitely going to have ore crushing built into it by default. A couple of these. But yeah, I can definitely say I should start working towards building this up better. But I want to get more belts, and that's what all this is for. This is all to build belts. I have a way of going around it eventually. Well, not going around it, but once we have these built, we'll be able to start building the actual base. But these will help us get the actual base up and running. Well, not the actual base, but our next version of our base. There's some things I don't mind building as needed, like power poles, assemblers, and stuff like that. Those I usually don't automate until we get to making. I really should have made a steel processing setup. That was a big mistake of not doing that. And right now I don't have the space or infrastructure to build one. I guess that's not a problem. I noticed I filtered this one. I really shouldn't have, but... Oh no! I forgot electronic scrap comes in with this. No. It's fine. We can fix it. So I end up what's supposed to go down the belt? Down the belt? No. Down the belt. And you can come across here. And then what I can do... I also don't know how I feel about the fact that we have to deal with liquid concrete. It's a little bit of a pain, to say the least. Having a product that was not a liquid prior originally now being required to be a liquid is kind of an annoyance. One of these does go like this, go like this. Actually, you can go there instead. I do think my brain is absolutely losing itself. But what I could do is I could do this. Nope, this will be easier. Need another splitter. You need to make this. I need to remove you because you're not necessary. You can go into there. You can go into there. Go ahead and pop everything out. You can go to there, and then you to there. And then I can just go like this. There we go. And then this one can be set up to always pull from the left. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to here and make a system to put all these green circuits into a box. And what that'll do is it'll just even out the sides. And take all that. We'll deal with the rest of that in a second. But the first thing I want to do is I want to deal with going to here. Now these we need a little bit more because iron scrap you get a little bit more of in my experience. You don't get a lot more. It's not like it's a huge deal. We probably should go this way. And then what I can do is I can do this. Which I can do that to avoid the problem there. Build another one of these. You can go ahead and gears to the left. There we go. You will do the metal scrap. Oh, oops. Well, actually, now that I think about it, it's fine if I bring in copper and put it up here, because that will then where it is to the right, metal scrap. Because that will then make it to where metal scrap will go to the right. Be given to this, and then everything else will go on, which is going to be like iron plates, what do you call it? Stuff like that. As you guys grab, push them on. Then you can go ahead and go to there. Now I technically could use another box here, which actually would not be impossible. Right, so now I'd like to build this. I should definitely grab one here. Maybe a spin with copper. So that one there. This one there. This one there. And then there. Iron left. And then what I want to do is I want to put a chest here. Basically, we'll just have this. We'll go ahead and build two simple ones. But what I want to do is I want to filter this for just iron. So now if anything else ends up down the line, I can fix it. This one, I probably won't need it this early because I'm not going to be using steel, but I have an idea of what I'm going to use the system for anyway, so I might as well set this up just in case steel ends up on it somehow. There's technically a way I could add steel to the system, I just have to be willing to smelt later down the line, which means I need to bring in something to smelt. Well, not something to smelt, I would need something to burn. Which I don't have any of that on the belt, so moot point. Processing. Go ahead and go with a bigger inventory. Probably electrification, because we should have that being taken care of. So this system, basically all it does is it nails it to make wood in a forge. The wood then burns itself and all of its other products in order to keep making crystals to give us our void science right now. I was going to build a bigger system of it, but I want this stuff first. We'll probably build a bigger system later. So now what I can do, since I was planning on doing this from the beginning anyways, I basically can grab a few of these. And then what I can do is your scrap, your scrap, your scrap, your scrap, your scrap. And then that'll have it going, all the scrap going down the system and being sorted out into its necessary areas. Alright, next we're going to go with probably here. A lot of these don't need to be this big. Like I probably won't be using all of this. Which actually this needs to go like this. Logistics network would definitely help with building this, as it would obviously create a more possible system of dealing with all of the scrap byproduct. You you can just basically tell your system you don't want any of it in your inventory, and the system would then remove it all. My cat's starting to be attention grabbing. I don't know why. As per the usual, she is being confusing. Not that that's a problem. She's rubbing up against my leg and meowing every once in a while. I don't stream for treats. You can't get treats from me. You gotta get treats from mommy. Yeesh. I might have considered setting up something for her treat system, but as I stream with YouTube instead of Twitch, not really for any particular reason. I'm more active on YouTube, so I use YouTube. Now, I do want to do this. We will upgrade these to red eventually. Well, I might not upgrade these to red. What I might do is I might eventually, what I might do eventually is I might, this less than, let's say 150. Now, one thing I do want to do, let's get a green thing. I want to go yellow, red. Moments where I wish it was like an Excel document where I was smart enough to figure out what I wanted to do. Okay. Now, let's see. I think we're did the electrification. Let's go with this, this, and let's get a bit of the void flux recipe started as well. Red circle belts. Now red belts are just yellow belts and that. So actually what I can do is, because I don't plan on putting this very far down the line anyways. It doesn't need to go very far down the line. And then there. And finally there. You will only take out red belts. You will not take out red belts. And then you can go there. These. Belts themselves are the first thing you should, in my opinion, that you should automate. It's going to help you in the long run. Those there. Not to mention, red belts are what you're going to be placing down a lot of in most factories, especially with my factory designs. Belts are probably the thing we use the most. Have that, you can have that. But yeah, that's more or less just to balance the belt, to where I can drop stuff onto the belt. That system very rarely will ever require, very rarely ever utilize all of its stuff. At first I thought I needed that, and then I realized I didn't. That I needed to filter that, but I don't. It doesn't produce any. The only thing it will produce is issue is that we're going through iron like crazy. We don't have enough iron ore coming in. We're probably gonna be doing a redesign of the base earlier than I expected, because I need to get this system fixed. So we're probably going to let this build up where I have enough red belts to satisfy my current greed level, and then we're probably just going to tear this whole thing down. Everything from these down, and everything from like here over, not including any of this. But first things first. I did want to go farther, but this iron issue is a pain in the rear, and I need to deal with it. So, redesign time. I leave the power set up. What I need is I need a has a lot of steel scrap. Gunk, wood, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this one will be disgusting slime, disgusting slime. Stone, stone. Iron, iron. Copper, copper. Brick, brick. Tree. Next thing we need to do is we actually need to make our concrete. So it takes crushed iron ore, sand, and water. So crushed iron ore, sand, and water. So you can go. Oh, it needs to be a blue. It needs to be a blue one. I always forget that the brown ones can't do liquids. Not you. Okay, so turn that sideways. Put this there. You will make me concrete, and then put this. You won't make me concrete. You will make me the buildings because they take like liquid concrete. And then you. reason to do this, and that's because we need the power constantly going. So what we'll start doing is start removing these as we go, but as I see fit. Reach. Burn it. I think the issue is, yeah, it's not going to get enough sand. I think we might have some sand in here. We don't. We have a way of making sand. Oh, oops. This. Yep. A bowl of spaghetti for lunch. That's what this all looks like, is spaghetti. This whole setup is the exact blend of genius and horrifying you talked about last time. Oh, you know, just exactly what I promised. You want to take a peek at a base that's much farther along than this real quick? You want to take a peek at my test base? Let's go ahead and take let's go ahead and take a quick peek. Mid stream part 7. Go take a quick look at the test base. So this is the test base. We're seeing where I'm building similar to the one I'm currently building it. Everything looks pretty normal, except for when we get down to here and we start seeing all the other stuff I'm making from Void. And of course, the entirety that is chemical industry. This stuff is an absolute pain. I'm not going to explain anything, you're just going to peek at it. And then we can go down here. This isn't over where we process main material. This is all going up towards making the material from Void Essence. Landfill production, of course. Plastic, sulfurs, carbons. When we get over here, this is where we start getting into it's starting to get into a little bit of madness. This is all pulling from over here, because it's pulling out the scrap that comes out from that stuff. And then, the way I deal with all my scrap even starting to make glass. This whole base this whole base though gave me a lot of ideas for a redesign. How we process scrap, how we process our different types of scrap, makes all the stuff. Alright, everybody get a good look? Anybody understand it? I hope not, because even I don't understand it. Alright, back to the stream. Back to the actual base. A glimpse into our future. Right now I need warehouses. We technically need 7 warehouses to start. Oh, you were under the impression that that base was going to make it to us having Fulgora technology? I doubt that base needs a redesign badly already. It's one reason why we're using this, why I only use it for test building. It helps me understand what redesigns I'll have to do, and then avoid some of them. Like, I won't have to do the redesign that base is going to need. So that save is going to get deleted eventually. And then I'll start a save from the end of this stream when this stream comes to an end, because this stream is going to have a lot of the redesigns I need built into it. That's one reason why I do the test base, so I can figure out what redesigns I'll need to do in the future. Like in that base, I wasn't even crushing the ore down, I think, because I hadn't planned around crushing ore. Should be plenty of copper. What I should do is I probably should let my science continue in the background, at least to burn through what little science I have left over from the last iteration of base. I also don't know if I see a lot of genius here. I see a lot of bootstrapping. Just a lot of what Factorio is early on, I guess. We're getting there. Alright. You need to go into here for a little bit. I'm gonna drain the factory real quick. This isn't built for overflow design. I usually build the factory for overflow design, but this isn't built for overflow design. We're definitely not building. We're definitely not doing this properly because I shouldn't be just dumping everything indiscriminately into the ocean. Surprisingly, that is not a good idea. Let's not be cool for now. Which is funny because like I have a way I could easily fix it. I probably should do it actually. My main thing is that this is just going to take a. This is going to be a pain to actually build. Greater than 2. Go. Wood. Greater than 50. Oh, need a ton of wood. So, wood is fine to be destroyed. It is fine to be destroyed indiscriminately right now. Same with stone bricks, they're mostly just used in making more void forges. 50. Iron greater than 50. A lot of this stuff I don't need more than I just need a small stockpile of it. I don't need a lot of it. True, but like I can't even upcycle disgusting slime yet. How am I supposed to be upcycling disgusting slime when I don't even have that technology? You're asking me to do things I can't even do yet. No, oops. Trust me, if I could upcycle disgusting slime, I would. That technology. Five, 6, 7. So we're 3 away. We're over halfway there. We're halfway there. Let's grab these. The world's he doing? Everybody's thinking. And continuing with the insanity. What's that build? It's a furnace stack. What's he doing? What madness is this? As much copper as we need iron this early in the game. No reason to make that much copper. No reason to focus that much. We're halfway there. I need to stop singing. I'm gonna get copyright striked. I've been listening to that song a lot, so it's stuck in my head. Don't blame me, YouTube, please. Didn't do it. What's the point of the stream? percentage, like how many copyright strikes are because somebody just had a song stuck in their head while they were making a video? Or am I just being way too hard on YouTube right now and it's not actually going to get me for copyright strikes? It's because my voice is absolutely garbage. Don't worry, eventually we'll get to the point where discussing slime rules only purpose will be that I'm just gonna kill it. This madness must cease. You ready for some real spaghetti madness? Oh, it doesn't fit. Fine. Can't have my spaghetti madness. Then I'll figure a way to make it on my own. Iron less than 50. There we go. That'll help us get through the last of them pretty quickly. Careful, the madness is catching. The amount of songs stuck in my head today is amazing. Like, I'm resisting the urge to sing them, so you guys aren't hearing them, but I am. I have like a concert going on in my head. I think it's because I'm used to listening to music while playing Factorio. Alright. Time to deconstruct. Throwing all the ores in here. Oh, that noise. Oh, your inventory is full, you idiot. Why? Didn't mean to. I didn't do it, Factorio, please. Be nice. Bunch of steel boxes to fix this. Let's see. I'm about to do isn't going to make a lot of sense. Well, what I'm about to do might not make a lot of sense until you see why I'm doing it. That shall be... That's not going to be enough. Only got able to count up to 4? Nobody knows. But I'm not. I have to do a lot of counting in my life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and finally 7. Come back to me, robots. Alright. Oversized blueprints for the win. Actually, don't need these. Oh no. We were so short. I already knew where we were gonna be. Not happy about it. Give me that. Boom. I may need to undo a couple of these, maybe. I can work with it. Spaghetti is king. Maybe this is the true spaghetti monster. Maybe when people were always like talking about the spaghetti monster, maybe they just meant Factorio. What would it be? Factorioism? What would you call religion based around Factorio? Other than insane. The answer insane is not a valid answer. I need a lot more iron. This is one reason why there's a good thought process to cutting the map in half and having one base on one half and one base on the other half. And then when I'm redesigning one base, I can be using the other base to make supplies. That's a genius idea. I shouldn't do that. It's a terrible thought process. I need to stop feeding into this whole redesigning the base idea. Can't help it though. There's so much technology. I also can't tell me that it's a terrible idea. Not allowed. It also reminds me of a saying I saw recently. The saying basically goes, you are the greatest project you'll ever work on, so restart, reassess, and reallocate as many times as you feel is necessary. Like, if this is my best, so if I want the best Factorio base, I should be allowed to reassess, reallocate, redesign as many times as I feel is necessary. There goes the copper warehouse filling up. Iron, why have you betrayed me? Hey, it's working. They're all filling up. The big thing is never wanting to redesign it when I have warehouses that are filling with stuff. Terrible thought process. Don't ever do it. Redesign never needs to happen at that point. There's another way. There's a better way. There is a spaghetti way. Sounds like a spaghetti religion thought process. The way of the spaghetti. Am I incorrect in thinking that bootstraps look like spaghetti? Like, am I just insane for that thought process, or is there legitimacy behind that thought process? Makes me curious on my sanity. I need to actually start working towards making, supplies. I need furnace stacks. I need 30 furnace stacks. Stat. I can also say that The scrap industry definitely takes into consider scrapping during handcrafting. At every step. From the amount that I've had to deal with it at this point, I can definitely say with 100% accuracy, yes, it does. It is madness. I knew we didn't get enough red belts. It's gonna be okay, the first iteration of the base is gonna be making belts. Go ahead and go with this one, this one, this one, this one, and that one. Need a dumping zone. It's madness. Thinking of that. I think it's because there's so many iterations of he's a madman. A madman. Disgusting slime indefinitely until you get to obtain that. Its uses are very limited. I wish there was a way to say instead of having to say a specific item, I wish I could be like, when I copy it, basically read whatever is coming in. Read the highest signal coming in. Is that an option actually? Anything greater than It actually works. Oh no. That cover backed up. A second. Quickly, we must fix it. Hurry. Hurry before we lose power. Oh no. Don't do it. Fixed it. Not sure what the heck my phone just dinged about. Alright, we'll build it. We'll build some processing. Problem is, if I build processing, I'm using up the belts I can be using to build the stuff we need to build. 6 1 half does the other issue. Now which way I go, I can't make progress. Darn you, Factorio! Not to mention there's the whole fear of if I stop working on these individual projects, I'll eventually get to a point where the system will not run properly. Okay, then you, and okay, so there's only those 2 left. Probably shouldn't have built the secondary belts yet. We aren't going to be using those for a while. I don't think I have the technology to use those yet. Might have the technology for it. Not fully, but mostly. It's a weird form of progression paralysis, that's what I'm dealing with. I know what I want, and I know how to get it. But it's like my brain is having an issue with, like, deciding to work on it. Again. Experiments to figure out like what piles up the fastest. I want to do this, gonna have to do it anyways. Need the system to start running. can't stop me now. There we go. They're all set up now. Although, did I already? Hey, it actually works. Holy moly. Not expecting that. I say that, but my base actually, my base is nowadays actually more and more understandable, just because of the fact that it's necessary to keep this game running properly. You start really running into issues if you let this thing get out of control. I believe in the power of spaghetti, but I also believe it's too powerful for any man to control. Or woman, it doesn't matter. Now that I think about it. It's too powerful. I want to build, actually I want to build crushers, because I want to actually crush stuff. That's the other thought process, is I could always upcycle everything. Instead of destroying it all, I could always once we get to the point of having recyclers, we could always just be recycling everything to constantly try to get legendary of everything, not just slime. Terrible idea. Shouldn't do it. Probably going to. A lot of my thought process is don't do what I'm doing. It's a terrible idea, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Don't stream like me. Don't build bases like me. Don't do things like me. Just don't. It's a bad idea. You're gonna be sad. Bad. I enjoy it because it's a little insane. Do I need for this? I need bricks. Bricks. I need steel? Ugh. What madness is this? Alright. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Do everything like a basic set of 5. Possibility. No. Accidentally grabbed my window and moved it. Oops. So what I'm thinking is then we go like this. Then we say this does iron ore. Actually, first, copy it. I feel like if I was smart, I'd use blueprint books. madness is this? Actually thinking? Sheesh. Next, I'll actually start putting forth an effort to building a decent base. And that, my friends, would be true madness. Man, give me my stuff. You know you want to. It's the easiest way to escape the madness. Work with me. Into my desires. Input priority. Nothing else. Anywhere. I don't know why I went out there. I know I was out of rooms. Stop this madness. Madness. This is base melting. Oh no. Y'all realize what I did, right? I'm realizing I didn't plan for sand. I have 8 resources. No. It's a mistake. I didn't mean to. Oh, great. Alright. We can fix this. Maybe. Actually, I have a thought process. Water. Oh, great. Warehouses. So, put sand in there. I need crushed iron, which we're gonna get from here. Crush stone, you can crush copper. I think you also are able to crush coal at some point, but I don't think we have that technology yet. Could be wrong. Madness could be catching. The madness. The madness. Sand. That's it. I think you. No. No, that would be stone. No, that would be stone. Stone. And that one would be copper. lazy iron first. I shouldn't do lazy iron first, but I'm gonna do lazy iron first. I mean, not lazy iron. We're gonna do lazy steel first. Pretty sure this is gonna need sand. And I'm pretty sure this is just gonna make sand purely. It's like I had an underground somewhere. Oh no. How do we fix such a problem? Quite easily, actually. Move this to where we know where it's coming out at. And make a raw steel that can be dumped. Not output priority, right? Input priority, right? Take out pressure. What would be more of a thought process? I just thought of this, and I'm curious I'm curious if anybody wants to leave anything in the comments who are watching this on YouTube, or if anybody watching right now would like to pop in and pop in their thoughts. Would a Factorio thought process be? Do you know of our Lord and Savior, the Spaghetti, or do you know our Lord and Savior starter base? I personally think Spaghetti, but I can understand an argument for starter base. technically make an argument for why having more is useful, but I also have been trying to discover like what I need for building these more efficiently. This is what I'm thinking. Because I have a sneaky suspicion I'll end up restarting this entire playthrough again, and that's not just because I've restarted it 3 times now. Stop this madness. Madness. This is Factorio. No, I didn't think about that. Circuit network to the rescue. You. If sand is greater than 5,000. No, it's less than 5,000. We don't want to have this filled up with sand, because we crushed all of our stone. But yeah, the main reason I don't plan for like electromagnetic machines, foundries, and all that stuff is because there's so much of it to plan for. I'd have to like, I basically would be better off just blueprinting a base that I made with all that stuff, and then pasting it down, and then building in its places. Like Factorio kind of pushed you towards the base redesign thought process early on with its space age playthroughs, because you're going to end up having to redesign your base around the new technology when you get to it, in my own personal opinion. I could be wrong. There could be people out there who disagree with me. There could be people out there who completely can plan around that. My brain don't work like that. ADHD brain go. Not to mention, it's easier for me to focus on something on the here and on what I have access to here and now than it is for me to plan for the future. Big flaw of mine. One that I'm quite aware of. So now I can do that. Now we are making glass. Not to mention, when I get to those more advanced sciences, we'll have the bot network. And the bot network will be fixing everything. I definitely agree with the thought process that I've heard people say before, that you can measure Factorio bases in A, B, and BB before bots and after bots. Because it definitely is that is definitely a thing. You can definitely tell you can definitely say that a person's base is either before bots or after bots, and it's easy to tell. Because usually the bigger designs come after bots. me personally, the way I usually work with technology in this is everything is built to be getting to bots eventually. And then that's when I start actually thinking about like actual designs. And it's usually like steps. Like, I want to get to this, then I want to get to this, then I want to get to this, and eventually those steps lead to bots. We're downgrading to yellow for a little bit. Oh noes. May need some upgraded reds. Darn it, bots are taking all my stuff. Because I have all these upgraders set. Wow. Okay, there we go. There were other ways around that. That was the probably smarter option. Copper, steel, glass. I actually don't think we need glass yet. I want to make glass so we can have it, but we don't need it yet. So we're going to ignore glass. This is copper. I do need to do the mod updates. Just in case, we're gonna take a break real quick. Not a long break. We're just gonna take a quick few second break to update all the mods, because I should update them real quick. Yeah. Mostly just because of the fact that Iridescent Industries got that upgrade date for supporting my loaders, and we also need it because we also need to do it now because there's a good chance it might break stuff. So you're gonna leave stream for a second. Don't panic. Hopefully nothing breaks. Updating your mod list midstream is probably not a great plan. But again, I never said I was smart, or that I did things that you should do. I specifically say don't do the things I do. I like how they did Space Age. I wish they would have changed Factorio to kind of match it. The title screen. Alright. Hopefully nothing changed that broke anything. Alright, let's go with... actually what I should do, we'll go with right here. Because I don't think I've seen a scrap that involves copper plates, but I'm going to pretend that I have, and I'm going to plan around that. I don't think I have, though. This will only let out iron. This is for the iron scrap. This is for the steel scrap. I'm not going to plan for copper. I don't think copper is a thing. That's just the copper scrap. Alright, so now this one and be copper scrap. Do I really think this is going to be enough furnaces? No. No, I don't. Finally, iron scrap. now I'm curious if it exists. And that's an iridescent crafter. Which is basically just a really fast crafter. Love this. Hey, this is. I did still have a copy of this. It does exist? Is it literally just what I just said? It's basically just a super fast crafter. Crafter 10 times 10 speed. It needs its own special fuel to make from prismarine and void stuff. Interesting. And priority left. And then and that's green circuits. Actually, no, what we should do is I think what I should do is I should do this. There we go. Now that'll even it out. Or at least it should. And then next to green circuits, I'm saying it out loud so that I remember to do. So I can try to remember where it is. We'll place down this. Alright. Alright, first one's first. Let's go ahead and get some yellow belting. probably don't need more than one of these crafting yellow belts. This might be fast enough. It might not be, and then we'll probably have to do a redesign around it, but whatever. Yellow belt's less than 150. Hey, look, there's the iridescent loaders. Oh, and you made iridescent stackers. That may not have been a great idea. Iridescent stackers sound like an absolute majesty when it comes to me making my legendary base. Blacklist. Red belts. Whitelist. Belts. Red belts. You can't credit blame me for this one. The mod's API automatically creates both loaders and stackers with one command. It was pretty simple to add support. Really? I didn't know. I have no idea. I wish I had learned coding when I was younger, but I never picked up coding, and so I have no idea anything about it. Like I have no idea what the process would even be to figure it out. Now we can finally start upgrading to red belts. There goes all of our gears. Because our iron is coming in so slowly. Remember that whole thought process I mentioned about the fact that, is this going to be enough iron? No, it's not. Alright. I've been streaming for about 2 hours and 18 minutes. We're not going to stop the stream today. I'm going to continue. But I am going to take a break for a few minutes. I'm going to go get up and stretch for a little bit. I'm going to go get something to drink. Then get something to eat. But I will be back in about, 5 minutes. I'm going to leave the stream running. I'm going to leave the game running. But I am going to step away for a few minutes. This is a good time to do it because we're currently waiting for everything to pile up. And then when we come back, we're going to fix iron. Because I shouldn't have let iron be like this anyways. So we will be fixing it once I get back. Alright, we're back. During the break, I also changed out my headset's battery. That was actually the reason why I needed to take the break in the first place. It already fell back up. Yes, it did. Alright. Let's fix iron. So the best way to fix iron would be to do this. Definitely doesn't feel like it should have, but it did. We go with this. We go with this. Oh, because it's going into here. So actually we should remove this. build is works on underground splitters and loaders, or we could work on making our inserters. I'm more tempted to make the inserters than I am to make the other ones. Because inserters are another thing that we need a lot of, and we don't have much of. And there's some that make a lot of scrap as well, so. Go ahead and go 1, 2, and 3. There, 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 and there. So this will be where we output our blue inserters. This will be where we output everything that's not a blue inserter. This one, I think both of them need iron. I think it's gears that they don't share. Yeah, it's gears that they don't share. They can share iron and green circuits. Oops, too far. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Blacklist. Oops. I forgot about the fact that the yellow inserters are going to have their own scrap product. Oh crap. That's a problem. That's not really a problem, I'll just end up in here. So why we do that? Just in case. There we go. So one thing I found that is the smartest thing to do when you have scrap, always make what I call a catch box, which will basically catch anything that's not scrap, and hold it in the catch box, so that you know if something ends up in there, it'll just end up in the catch box. Sorry about that, I meant to mute before I took a bite and forgot. placed the wrong one. Darn bots. Undergrowths. That's what I needed. Sorry for the long pause of me talking, but eating. I'm planning on doing a long stream today because I don't have anything else planned for today. Probably won't stop until either my wife waits and makes me stop, or until I get bored of working on Factorio for a minute. I'm also running a lecture long one today because we're not doing Factorio tomorrow. I will be streaming, but I am not doing Factorio. I'm planning on doing a playthrough of RimWorld, as I have an idea of a special idea for RimWorld that I think will be interesting, but I don't want to record it yet, so we're just going to do a playthrough of it. I am still uploading, I am still going to be uploading RimWorld, the save file I've been working on. I might start streaming that, I haven't decided yet, but I have a new, completely different one that I plan on doing. Which is a bit stable over a mod pack because I removed a bunch of mods from it. I obviously don't want to do that to the main playthrough because adding mods to the playthrough is one thing, removing them is another. Alright, the next one, bring this down to this. Go with yellow inserters and red inserters. So this one needs gears, the other one needs iron. So you're going to need iron. First you want the belts, which I can easily do for that is this. One item I could cheat in, it'd be the recycler. That's definitely it's definitely one of the things that I could definitely say changes how the game runs once you get it. I never use. I can literally just do this, it'll be a lot easier. Blacklist. This. I didn't blacklist that. I wonder how many of those I end up sending down that line. Okay, I finished my teriyaki beef rice bowl. So hopefully now my stomach will not bother me while I work on the rest of it, while I work on stream. It's not that it was bothering me before, it was just I was noticeably hungry. You want to use unique gears and unique plates. So unique gears. So we'll go all the way to gears for you. You want belts and plates. Yes. Not. Nice. Now this is going to get stopped because I don't think we use anything else for belts except for green science, which will get its own belt production. And we're going to go through 3 of these just so we have plenty. I do have to say thank you for suggesting the scrap industry mod, Zai. I think I change your name every time I say it. I still think sexy is probably what it looks like the most, but it's more of a like, it's weird. It's like it's like my brain won't let me figure out what it says. Zai is also another one because XII. But I do have to say thank you for suggesting scrap industry. It is becoming one of my favorite mods because I can definitely say I enjoy the idea of having to deal with all the scrap byproduct. I can definitely say that there will be a point where I'm starting to pull my hair out trying to figure out what to do with all the scrap byproduct of like chemicals, because I know the chemicals have their own scrap byproducts that absolutely become an absolute pain to deal with. But I can definitely say I enjoy it. Even with all the crap I'm going to give you for suggesting it. I think I just like anything that makes you have to like put more thought into how you're doing things in Factorio. It's like one reason why I like Voidcraft so much. I like your mod Voidcraft so much. I like the fact that it gives you infinite resources, but at a cost. So it's like, yeah, well, you can make infinite resources. Good luck trying to sort your way through all of it. It's the one reason why if I could make a suggestion on the mod that I would think would be an interesting change, that I think would be an annoying change but an interesting change, is the void chat. I like how it makes stuff. I like the way it works. I like this. Don't change this setting. but make it to where you can choose between this, simple void crafting, or do like moderate and advanced void crafting. So what moderate and advanced would do is give you more raw resources to deal with. It would make it, you could slow it down, you could have it be the same speed, it doesn't matter, but it would basically make a bunch of garbage that you could then sort through. But it's all the basic garbage. Like, I don't mind if you want to keep bricks in there. I think bricks is fine, even though that comes from stone. But basically, if it doesn't come from something else, like wood comes from you can get wood from trees and trees from seeds, but you get what I mean. If it's a base product, you can then have it be that it produces it in these more and more advanced versions of void crafting in the void shed. So like, eventually you could add on to this uranium. You could add on, tungsten. You could add on holmium ore. You could add on scrap. Just so that all the basics come into it. I think that'd be an interesting idea for the void shed if you wanted to work on updating the void shed a bit further. So it goes from simple void crafting to like moderate void crafting to advanced void crafting to extreme void crafting. Because I think that'd be an interesting idea if you did that. Have I tried entropic conjuration? Oh, are you talking about? I think I know which one you're talking about. At first, I thought you were going to suggest another one, but no, I think you're talking about. I don't have it yet. Where is it? This one. Yes, you are. Yeah, I have seen this. I've seen this one. I'm probably going to use it at some point. I was just more of wanting more basic resources. So eventually I could have these be making all the resources, dumping them all into the warehouse, and then sorting them between thousands of warehouses, and having bring a thing from a baseline start point. Next thing we need to do is we need to start working on the void crafting area. Which, do we have any more? Not yet. You're missing sand. Let's give you more sand. You want more steel. Let's go ahead and grab some steel. So out of curiosity, because my brain's now thinking this, did you remember the name of that, or was the pause between me asking and you answering, you looking it up, or did you just remember the name of that? Because sometimes I wonder how you figure out the names for some of this stuff. glad I'm not the only one sitting here like the madness of you knowing, of you coming up with these ideas is sometimes baffling to me. What? No, you weren't supposed to be going out, you're supposed to go in. Take back your bricks. You're allowed to come out because you're going to be, because disgusting slime doesn't go in because there's no way to make, because as far as I know there's no way to make disgusting slime by itself, or to make it like you do with iron and the rest of this stuff. Maybe entropic conversion, but yeah. I ain't getting into that stuff yet. Alright, so this is the 6. Now I need a break. You go down, you go up, you go down, you go up. You go down, you go up, and then you go up, you go up. That's fine. Alright, first things first. A bunch of void forges. Rex. Embrace the power of the void. Actually, what I should be doing is embracing the power of the void. Alright, let's embrace the power of the void. I have an idea. Sometimes I get nervous when I say I have an idea. And I usually can sit here and think about what my idea is going to be. We're cooking with madness now, folks. Shards. Left. Wood. Okay, that was weird. We might be getting to the end of the stream today just because apparently my internet is starting to have issues. We're gonna go for a few more minutes. Hopefully it chills out. But we will be stopping probably in the next 30-ish minutes. starting to seem like my computer's having a heart attack about this for some reason. How dare you overflow on stone? Oops. I think I broke it. I'll fix it in a second. You go there. You go there. You go there. There, there, there. My ADHD just broke the entire base. How do I fix this? Oh, I know how to fix it. Turn you off, turn you off. Let it run that for a second. Prioritize items. Why did it stop? Oh. There we go. I was about to say, it doesn't. I've already tested the system. It runs by itself. There we go. Alright. Real quick fix here. forgot the guy didn't do Void Flux. My bad. stone. Alright. So, the next thing to do is start to work on the rest of the Void Forge stuff. Freeze! Actually, putting the seeds off to the side and using those for putting those into a warehouse. Why? Because I can. Please. And indigo. Oops. I needed that stone. Let's go back. There. Copper. And copper. Okay, why did you stop? Alright, I think it's having issues. Alright, I think the stream's having too many issues right now, and I think it's having an issue. I think it's having a fit. My transmission rate's down, everything's down. So we're gonna be taking a break. Well, we're gonna be calling it for today. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I see y'all in the next one. I hope you guys have been enjoying how Factorio streams have been going. We'll be working further into the next sets of Voidcraft and such in the future. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And if you want to leave something down in the comment section down below, let me know how you guys are feeling. Other than that, talk to you later. Bye. Sorry, Zai, but we're gonna be closing down stream probably literally a few seconds because you're the only one here and there's nobody to finish conversations with. Hope you enjoy Void, and thanks for all the updates you do for Voidcraft, and thank you for creating Voidcraft and all the other mods that you've created because they're all incredible and fun, and I can't wait to play some more of them.